Hello, welcome to Giants Tarot with me, Elizabeth, for September 28, where I just read you things that are written about this day, meaning September 28. Not September 28 this year, all the September 28s. Okay, so here we go. First reading is from Glenville, Kleiser. Be master of your own mind, September 28. Every thought you think has an influence upon your life, great or small. All the thoughts you think are of two classes: constructive thoughts which build your powers toward useful ends, or destructive thoughts which deplete your resources. The thinking of most men is indefinite, haphazard and negative. They are frequently controlled by environment, accidental circumstances, aimless newspaper reading, and other influences which tempt their thought away from constructive lines. You can deliberately choose the kind of thought you intend should govern your daily life. You can close the door of your mind against every undesirable, negative, useless thought. You can be master of your own mind in the degree that you really want to be. The Theosophical Society has a thought for today. You have done well to see the large purpose in the small beginnings of the Theosophical Society. Of course, if we had undertaken to found and direct it in propria persona, very likely it would have accomplished more and made fewer mistakes, but we could not do this, nor was it in the plan. Our two agents are given the task and left, as you now are, to do the best they could under the circumstances. The birthday book for the 28th of September says, "This birthday denotes an unusually sensitive nature, which will find content and happiness in work having a philanthropic object. Church, charity and social movements exert a great fascination, but the owner of this birth date knows instinctively the correct occupation to select. A partner, if any, should share similar interests." From 365 Things to Know, how does a barometer work? For the 28th of September. There are two kinds of barometer, the mercury and the aneroid. Both measure the pressure of the air around us, and because of this they can be used to tell the height above sea level or to predict changes in the weather. They can measure height because the higher you go, the lower is the pressure of the air, and they can forecast changes in the weather because when the air pressure rises, it generally means the approach of dry or still weather. When it falls, it generally means the approach of wind, which brings with it rain and snow. The mercury barometer consists of a long tube closed at one end and curling around at the bottom into a cup shape. The tube is filled with mercury. When it is stood upright, some of the mercury runs from the tube into the cup, leaving an empty space at the top end of the tube. When the air pressure increases, it presses down on the cup of mercury and forces some of the mercury up the tube. When it falls, mercury from the tube runs into the cup. So we have the thin column of mercury in the tube rising and falling with the pressure. You may have heard your father say, "The glass is falling," after looking at the barometer, meaning that bad weather is on the way. A mercury barometer is generally fitted with a mechanism which turns a pointer on a dial so that changes can be easily read. A more common kind of barometer in the home is the aneroid barometer. This consists of a round metal box with no air inside it, attached to a spring mechanism which turns a pointer on a dial. When the air pressure is low, the spring pulls up the top of the box and turns the pointer to rain. When the air pressure increases, it pushes down the top of the box and the pointer swings around to fair. If you really want to know what the weather is going to be like, however, it is much better to listen to the weather forecasts on the radio or television. I don't know about that. All right. Air pressure is affected by many things, and low pressure may bring wind, rain, snow, sleet, hail, thunder, lightning, or any mixture of these. A barometer cannot tell you exactly what is coming or when, and so can be used only as a very general guide. Well, that was a long reading about something that was general. Numerology for the 28th. The mission is executive by nature, very affectionate and has high ideals, independent, strong-willed, willing to sacrifice much to achieve your goal, loves freedom but often suffers from limitations, like to begin things but often fail to finish them. Maybe a daydreamer, therefore could be lazy if you do not fight this tendency. Be careful not to lose interest the minute you achieve success. Inclined to magnify troubles, so are subject to many disappointments. Angel number 28 can be interpreted as an expression of number 10 plus 1, or 10 or 1. This is because the digits 2 and 8 add up to 10. Duh. When you see angel number 28 appear throughout your day, at work, when you check out at the grocery store, or even on the clock when you wake up in the middle of the night, it is likely to be a message from your angels that as long as remain grateful for what you have and share your abundance with others, you will continually live abundantly. As the sun remains in Libra, we have a Libra First Division reading. The role of a Libra 1 is to fight for justice. You've been endowed with virtues that leave you admirably equipped to succeed in many areas of life, but especially in the field of law, whether as a maker of it, a practitioner, or an enforcement officer. You are sympathetic, liberal, fair-minded, and idealistic. Hooray! The tarot card for this period is Justice. I'm just going to read what I read yesterday because it's good. Do not claim a place that is not your right to have. Honour the good, hold it high. The right place will come for you. A lawbreaker may love justice more than a lawmaker. The card for the decanate that we are in, which is the first decanate of Libra, is the Two of Swords. Austin Coppock and Ezra associate the scales more strongly to Decan 1 than with the other two Libra decans. I also think qualities of Mart are strong here. The tarot card associated with this decan is the Two of Swords, which indicates arguments between people who are being rigid and unyielding. Both sides are locked into the battle. There is little room for forgiveness and no sign of a thaw. This argument could go on for years and taint generations to come, unless someone is brave enough to sort it out. People need to lay down their weapons and open their heart to forgiveness. Karmically, this shows the polarity of Aries to Libra, where Libra is the other. The balancing of the scales indicates finding a compromise in this lifetime to extremism in the past. Oh gosh, okay. Now to Cartomancy, the 9 of Hearts. That's right. The birth emblem for today, the 28th of September, is the 9 of Hearts, which in Cartomancy is sometimes referred to as the wish card. The dictionary defines wish as yearn, desire, crave, inclination. Just checking the time here. Where are we? Oh, damn. I don't know. I might have to do it again if I get it wrong. Hang on, where are we? Oh, I didn't even start it. What a fool. Anyway, I'll rush ahead and see. The dictionary defines wish as yearn, desire, crave, inclination. Inclination. That's a good word for the 9 of Hearts. Let's start here. What is the inclination of the 9 of Hearts? Well, looking up into the heavens for guidance and understanding, we learn the card above is the 7 of Diamonds. So the pieces of the puzzle are 9 hearts, 7 diamonds. In numerology, remember that 9 is the number of wise and experienced objectivity. The 9 brings universal love into the mix. The 9 is not given as many opportunities as other numbers. Getting to the end of the single-digit sequence is a massive victory, and like all veterans, the 9 knows and tries to look after the surrounding community. The 9 knows enough to know that there is probably enough to keep community chugging along, but not enough to allow luxuries for self. When the emotional and loving 9 of hearts looks up into the questioning and analytical 7 of diamonds, universal love, the 9 of hearts, encounters intellectual energy. The 7 of diamonds is a card of negotiation, measuring, sorting out, and perhaps some gossip. You can assess and measure all you like, but universal love calls to action. And yes, universal love will surely keep the community chugging along. There is always an inclination to desire something personal just for oneself, but there may not be enough to guarantee it. The 9 of hearts will never starve, but a wish is allowed. It would be nice, but maybe it won't happen. The 7 of diamonds indicates that flexibility is required. Is this why the 9 of hearts is called the wish card? Universal love penetrates every plan, exchange, and wish. It is stated, as is stated so eloquently in Donalie Fitzgerald's book, Your Place in the Cards. You must love your neighbour as yourself, and don't forget that he lives all over the world. The reading for today, September 28, in Cartomancy. Playwrights and politicians may attain fame in this date. Many are found in industry, but not usually from choice. Big business may be selected from necessity or inheritance, but art, literature, or government connections are more favoured. Art in some form should be followed as a hobby, usually very effective speakers. And the Lenormand card, which sports or wears the 9 of hearts, is the Rider. Yay! Don't give up. News is coming. What actions do you need to take? Consider the direction you're going in. If your love interest only, I don't know, be prepared. Things are going to happen quickly. Have a great day, people. See you tomorrow.